2024 was a big year for me writing-wise. It's wild to think that at the beginning of the year, I'd never professionally published anything. I was still querying unsuccessfully, and then by the end of the year, I'd had my first professional publication and signed with a literary agent. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about it. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Jackie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're a returning subscriber, and welcome to my channel if this is your first time checking me out. Just so you know, I am an author of historical mysteries who recently signed with a literary agent for my 1930s Agatha Christie inspired mystery nicknamed Project Dagger. In this video, we're going to talk about what I went through in 2024 in terms of my writing life, the highs, the lows, and we're also going to talk about all the stuff that I was writing this year. So let's get right into it. All year long, I have been tracking my writing in a notebook, so at the end of the year, I could look back on all of the words that I wrote that year. And this is a tradition that I am going to hopefully continue into the future. So in 2024, I wrote approximately 77,378 words. Now, granted, this is not exact because when I was editing particularly, there would be times where I would rewrite a sentence or redo a paragraph and then be like, oh crap, I didn't keep track of this for the notebook. But it was somewhere around this range. At the beginning of the year, I was in the middle of the first draft for Project Dagger. Like I said, my Agatha Christie-esque historical mystery inspired by the Detection Club. So in 2024, I finished the first draft for that book, and I actually worked on 8 drafts in total. 7 of those drafts I completed independently, and then I did a round of editing for my agent after I signed with her. But we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves there. I also wrote one short story that is semi-connected to that project. And that short story was called Death at Everleigh Abbey, which was published as part of the 18th Malice domestic anthology, Mystery Most Devious. This is an anthology that is released every year to coincide with the Malice Domestic Mystery Writers Conference, and it's published by Wildside Press. So it is judged blindly, and my story was selected for this anthology. Every year they do a theme for the anthology, and this theme was a little bit more general. They just wanted mysteries in the Agatha Christie style tradition. So I decided to write a short story that is connected somewhat to Project Dagger, my manuscript. A lot of the characters in Project Dagger are mystery writers, so Death at Everleigh Abbey doesn't feature those characters. It features a fictional character created by one of my fictional characters. So I know that's a bit convoluted, but I thought that would be a fun little writing exercise, and short story ideas, in my opinion, are harder than novel ideas because you have to think of an idea that you like, but that you don't necessarily want to turn into a whole novel. And for me, I can think of so many ideas that I think would be good books, but coming up with a mystery to write in a condensed format where you don't have a lot of word count, that, in my opinion, is harder. So Death at Everleigh Abbey is connected to my manuscript in that tangential way, and it is a country house mystery in the Christie style. This is a really good anthology if you want to go check it out, not just to support me, but to support the other awesome people who are included in it. So this was obviously one of the highlights of my year because though I had published stories in campus literary magazines when I was in college, I had never been paid for a story I wrote before, and it just felt like a major achievement to have people who know what they're doing validate me in that sort of way and be able to share something that I wrote with the masses. This was a real achievement, and I'm still super proud of it. Now, in other short story news, I was thinking that I was going to write some more short stories this year, and that ended up not happening. I was thinking I would do it to make use of my time while querying, but my querying journey ended up being super fast. So I didn't write any more short stories. I do have another short story that I wrote in December 2023, and I did submit that to a influential mystery magazine, but was rejected. So currently my short story success rate in terms of publication is 50-50. So that was a bit hard because in the rejection for the short story, they actually told me that they came very close to choosing it, which was very nice of them to say, but also kind of hurt at the same time, because I think, you know, being told, oh, we almost chose it, it does make you wonder, like, is there something I could have done differently? And then they would have chosen it, if that makes sense. But they were very kind, and they did encourage me to submit again in the future, which I will do if I have more short fiction in the future that I want to send out. That same short story is now currently with another influential mystery magazine, but they've had it for several months and they haven't responded to me yet. I think that's typical. It is a very famous mystery magazine. I think one of the most famous ones out there. So I'm sure they get a lot of submissions. A lot. And I knew there was going to be a long wait. So we'll see how that goes. They have that story. They've had it for a few months. And if I get good news, I'll let you know. But currently, my success rate, 1 short story accepted, 1 rejected, 1 still out there pending in the queue. So now let's talk about my querying journey in 2024, because I already alluded to that a few times. So in case you don't know, querying is how you get a literary agent. You send them what's called a query letter describing your book. If they think it sounds interesting, they'll request to read the manuscript. If they really love the manuscript and they believe they can sell it to a publisher, they'll offer to represent you. That's the short version of what querying is. At the beginning of 2024, I was querying the first novel I ever wrote, my Regency era historical mystery novel nicknamed Project Mayfair. And then at the end of the year, I ended up querying Project Dagger. So across those 2 projects, I sent in 2024 49 query letters. Obviously, I did not get an offer of representation for Project Mayfair, my first book, which was somewhat hard because I was and still am very proud of that book, and I do think it was a really good book. I know that my beta readers really enjoyed it, the people who I shared it with really enjoyed it, and I do think it was a well done book, if I do say so myself. And I think initially when I started querying it in 2023, I really thought that I was going to get an agent, but unfortunately that ended up not being the case, and that was difficult at the beginning. I think the hardest day of my entire querying experience was the day when I got 2 full manuscript rejections in the span of about 2 or 3 hours. That was really discouraging and a really hard thing to feel. I think also the difficult thing about querying agents is how subjective all of it is, and agents don't usually give you any concrete feedback on the stuff you submit to them. In my experience, I never got any concrete feedback from anybody except the agent who I signed with after I signed with her. So that was something that was really hard for me because I was hoping, well, if I get rejected, hopefully they'll at least tell me something that I can do to improve so that I can still work on my skills. Because it's very important wherever you are in your writing career to always be learning new things and willing to grow. And unfortunately, that never happened. I never got any deeply personalized responses when I was querying, it was always, you know, I liked this, but this didn't work for me, so I'm passing, or, you know, I just didn't fall in love with it. I didn't have that gotta have it feeling. And those things aren't actionable, so that was really a hard thing for me because I really wanted feedback so badly. I totally understand why agents don't give feedback a lot of the time because they are very busy. And unfortunately, there are a lot of aspiring authors out there who, when they get feedback, react, let's just say negatively, insulting the agent for their opinion, message them back to say they have terrible taste, outright threatening the agents and saying they're going to come find them and hurt them. Like, these are actual things that I've heard agents say, and that's why a lot of them don't give feedback anymore, because there are people out there who don't know how to act. And obviously, they don't know if you're a well-adjusted person or not. They don't know how you are going to react to the feedback. So it's a lot easier and a lot safer for them in many cases to just give vague rejections. But it was hard because I really did want feedback, and I had this feeling of not knowing what I did wrong, for lack of a better term. I just really wanted someone to tell me what I could improve on for next time, and that didn't happen. I think the good thing about rejection, though, is the more often you get rejected, at least in my experience, the easier it becomes to deal with rejection. Over time, they started to sting less. And when I put Mayfair aside and started preparing Project Dagger for querying, even though I loved the book and still love it, I went into querying thinking, okay, well, I didn't get an agent last time. Hell, I may not get an agent again this time, and that's okay. It's very normal for it to take 2, 3, 4, even more than 4 times to get an agent. So I went into it with low expectations, proud of what I did, but not expecting much. And when I was getting those rejections, instead of being very upset, I'd be like, okay, not for them, and move on, you know? Luckily, I did get an agent very quickly with Project Dagger. I will link that literary agent announcement video in the card where I talk a little bit more about the timeline. But Abby, my agent, we connected very quickly, and luckily I found someone who totally got what I was going for with the story. All of the edits that she gave me for the book totally resonated with me, where she would say these things and I'd be like, of course, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right with this comment. Why did I not see this before? And so I think everything worked out the way it was supposed to, where we've really just clicked, and I genuinely believe that she's the right person to help me with this book. So I accomplished what I set out to accomplish. And maybe it wasn't the timeline that I was originally hoping for back in August 2023 when I started querying my first book and all my hopes and dreams were resting on it. But it worked out the way it was supposed to. And I did what I wanted. I achieved what I set out to achieve. So let's cross our fingers and our toes, guys, that in my 2026 writing update, I can talk about getting a book deal. So fingers crossed for me and for Dagger, my little book baby. So we'll see what the next year will bring. Now, another thing before we wrap up, in 2024, I posted 30 writing related videos on this channel, and I had a lot of fun with these. I also did my first sponsorship with Reedsy Learning, and that was really fun. They invited me to take their How to Write a Novel course, and I really enjoyed that. The reason I agreed to partner with them is because I've genuinely enjoyed the resources that Reedsy puts out. They have a really amazing YouTube channel that you can watch for free. And so it was really fun to work with them on these videos. I also just genuinely believed that this writing course was something that my subscriber base would be interested in, potentially. I've had offers for sponsorships before, and I never pursued them just because they weren't products that I was interested in, or that I believed in, or that I thought my viewers would be interested in seeing. So it was really exciting to work with them on these videos because I genuinely was interested in the writing content that they were making before they even reached out to me. So thank you again, Reedsy, for that first paid sponsorship on this channel. I do still have an affiliate link for their How to Write a Novel course if you want to check it out. And you can go back and watch some of those videos, even if you're not interested in the course. I personally still think they were fun videos. And hopefully you'll get some good tips from them. So some other particular favorite videos, writing-related videos of mine that I made in 2024 were the taking a personality test as my main characters video. That was a really fun exercise to pretend to be them and take the personality quiz, just thinking about how my characters would act. So you can check that out. I really liked the character flaws for your protagonist video, where I was talking about some traits that you could use in your own writing to build a complex, flawed main character. That was a fun video to make. I also liked the line edit with me video, where I was working on line edits for Project Dagger and talking about some line editing tips or like redundancies that you can remove from your book. That video didn't get a lot of views, but I liked it personally, so maybe go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It might also be helpful if you're looking to reduce your word count on a sentence level. So those are some videos that I particularly enjoyed, and I'm excited to make more writing related videos for you all in 2025. Like I said in my channel updates video, I am going to make some more writing tips style videos because I didn't really want to do those in the past. Not because I don't like those videos, but because as somebody who had never been published, never gotten a literary agent, I didn't think I was in a position to give anyone advice. But now I have had a certain degree of success, so I think I do have more experience to speak about on this channel, and I hope that that's something you'll all be interested in. If there are any specific topics that you would like me to discuss, do let me know. I do want to make some videos on writing mysteries specifically, since that is my genre and I'm just genuinely very passionate about mysteries in general, as I know many of you are. So that's something to look out for this year. So I think that's it for my 2024 writing year in review. It was a great year. There were some hard days, but I am really proud of what I accomplished writing-wise in 2024, and cross your fingers that 2025 has even more exciting things in store. Let me know in the comment section, what achievements are you most proud of from 2024? They could be writing related if you're a writer, or just things that you achieved in your life in general, or fun things that you did. I really would like to hear from you in the comments. If you're still here watching and you want to show your support, but you don't know what to comment, why don't you comment the open book emoji down below so I know you watched this entire video? Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every single week. I really do appreciate all your support, and I just love this little tiny corner of the internet that we have here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.